Well, vlog life, and the last 3 in the G didn't go. Karen and I are heading to Arizona for over-the-counter mule deer and javelina. We're building up her arrow setup. So she's shooting a Matthews bow. She's got it set at about 43 pounds. The arrow that we went with, this is an Easton Axis, 5mm. We did a 340 spine, which is a little bit, it's too stiff of a spine for what she's shooting. But the result of that won't be a decrease or an issue with arrow flight. If anything, it'll just be heavier and it will hit harder. In the front, we did 75 grain insert, little brass insert in the back here, blazer vanes, and then we did yellow cresting. Really bright cresting in the back, it just makes things that much more visible and easier to see your arrow in flight, as well as easier to see your arrow on the ground. So yeah, that's the quick arrow build for Karen's arrow. Now we're gonna get packed up and head south for the winter. Karen and I just completed 15 hours of driving, and we made it to this sweet little town called Overton. And I've camped here as the 4th year in a row now, but basically we're up on this big bluff that overlooks a big valley. And yeah, popped up the camper, and we're gonna eat a quick dinner and then hit the hay, and we got probably 8 more hours to go tomorrow.
Tonight we have elk steaks that we pre-cooked and some spaghetti squash.
This elk steak, this is Homeboy. This is the bull I shot this year, so we're doing it right in camper. How does this spaghetti squash make you feel?
It's hot.
Just finished up about 20 hours of driving. First stop in Arizona, like first big town, is Kingman, Arizona. So we're gonna swing into the Walmart here and get hunting tags. Hunting here, it's over-the-counter tag for most of the state for either mule deer or coos deer. And there's actually 2 licensed seasons. So we showed up in December. We're gonna hunt the rest of December, and then starting January, we're actually gonna continue to hunt then. But that is a new licensed season, so we would need a new deer tag for then. But if you want to learn how to do this hunt, I actually shot an Anyone's Hunt video series on Arizona archery mule deer. It's a really amazing hunting opportunity that's available to anyone that has a bow. So I'll include the link on how to do that hunt. But we're gonna go buy tags and keep driving south. 23 hours and 1,200 miles later, made it to Arizona. Feels really good to stretch your legs, put the feet on the ground. We got about a half-hour daylight left, and we're just gonna shoot the bows, make sure everything's dialed in so we can hit the ground running tomorrow. All right, bow's pretty dialed in, losing light quick, so we're gonna go set up the camper and eat some grub. Just wrapped up first day here. Beautiful weather, saw a pile of deer and one pretty nice buck. So we're gonna hit the hay, but before we do, check out this customization we did to the camper last night. Full custom. Sleeping under the stars, but underneath a canopy. Pretty slow morning hunt. Saw a few does. Back at the camper, shooting the bow a few times. The archery setup that I'm running for this hunt, this is a Matthews V3 bow. Last year I shot the VXR. The big difference between the two, first off, they're both super smooth, accurate, awesome shooting bows, but the V3 is quite a bit faster. This thing, I'm chronographing it at about 16 feet per second faster than my VXR. So everything's set the same, draw weight, arrow weight, all that the same. This thing's shooting 16 feet per second faster. Tighter pin gaps with this bow, as well as a tighter sight tape. So I'm shooting a 3-pin slider sight from Montana Black Gold. So with this bow, I can stretch out my sight to probably like 120 yards before I have clearance issues. So that's pretty cool. The arrow that I'm running, this is a gold tip kinetic pierce 340 spine on the front of the arrow. The broadhead I'm using, this is a Grim Reaper expandable, 3-blade expandable. This is my favorite expandable on the market, a few reasons. So it's a 3-blade, it doesn't have an O-ring, so you never have to worry about those little rubber band O-rings. This thing just pops open. The blades are super sharp. The tip sticks out quite a bit further than a lot of the expandables on the market, and so you don't have any issues with deflections. And then also on the front of the arrow, I've got a 75 grain VAP, like insert outsert, and that's just to help get more weight up front. FOC is definitely a good thing. I'm not like a bow / arrow guru by any means, but I definitely do notice a penetration difference between having like a 75 grain outsert versus a standard like 20 grain. So on the back of the arrow, a white cresting, blazer vanes, and then a nocturnal lighted knock. These nocturnals are insane. I've shot both my antelope and my elk this year with lighted knocks, and I was just able to watch my arrow just like arc right in. Both shots were right at 50, and it was just like this like laser beam behind it. The animals can't see it. The light's on the back of the arrow facing backwards, so like only me, the shooter, can actually see it. So you don't have to worry about like spooking the animal with a lighted knock. But they aid so much in helping to verify shot placement. So in total, this arrow weighs 450 grains. Not the heaviest arrow on the market, not the lightest, but with the weight up front and being a kind of a thin diameter arrow, this thing hits super duper hard. Karen and I are hiking up to this big vantage point, and she whistles and she gives me one of these. I was like, oh, she found shit. What'd you find?
Every day is shit day.
The highlight of the day, old K-Dog over here found his shed. Oh, this is the next highlight. And then we saw Jupiter and Saturn almost touch each other. That was pretty cool. And then also got some pretty sweet phone scope footage of the moon, which is what we're attributing to as the reason of why we're not seeing a bunch of deer. It's because the moon's pretty big, so maybe the deer are out at night. Or we're just bad hunters. I don't know. Either's possible. Hunting is 99% speculation, and we speculate that the moon is causing the animals to be out at night, which is why we're not seeing them. Either way, we're gonna eat some dinner. We got gastronome. This is the best freeze dry I've ever had, ever. This is the second best one I've ever had, ever. Both from gastronome. These things are awesome. So we're gonna eat some dinner, and we'll see you in the morning. Just wrapped up our third day hunting here in Arizona.
Turned up pretty nice buck with a bunch of does. I mean, within 5 minutes of spotting this buck, we looked over on an opposite ridge and there's a hunter like moving in. Quite a few hunters out in this country. It was pretty fun to watch a complete stranger sneak in. Both Karen and I were like shaking. He was like, I don't know, 200 yards from these deer, but his spotters, so he had some guys glassing for him that were relaying information via radio or a phone, which is legal in Arizona. I don't think they could see the deer, so he was basically, at a certain point, he was blind. And Karen and I were like, oh man, I wish we had radios and we could tell him, like, just go a little further. But yeah, he did not get that buck. So we're headed down towards Phoenix. My parents actually have a winter home down there. Yeah, they spend the winters in Phoenix, so we're gonna go down and have Christmas with them. Yeah, that's where this vlog is gonna end. So if you like this vlog, hit the like button, and if you wanna see more, hit subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.